Welcome to another design video here at NitroCanvas. It's going to be a bit different this time because we're going to be designing a mobile app which is a meditation app called Calm Space. Now before we start designing the app, let's do another exploration to make its brand direction. So here's the design brief for Calm Space. You can pause the video right here if you want to read the briefing or if you want to do the briefing yourself as an exercise. So since it's a meditation app, we're going to be aiming for something calming, relaxing, and subtle for the branding. Here are the keywords I wrote down from the design brief that I kept in mind. So calm, mindful, relaxed, serene, subtle, and soothing. I also took down some important requirements that the brief wants, like the blues and purple colors, rounded sans serif fonts, and the usage of subtle font weights. For the typography, I'm going to look for a rounded style sans serif type of font. I want this to convey simplicity and the feeling of being relaxed. Using our AI assistant DBlank, I found 4 fonts I liked that kind of conveyed the feeling I was looking for. M Plus Rounded 1C, Quicksand, Pilcrow Rounded, and ASAP Condensed. These 4 looked nice, but I had to check them out in real usage to see if they actually fit with the vibe I was going for. M Plus Rounded 1C had that simple vibe that was nice and readable, but as the primary typeface, it didn't feel like it had character. Next is Quicksand, which is one of my favorites between the 4 I chose. I like the consistency of the roundness of the fonts, plus they look great as the primary typeface, so that was a save for me. Next is Pilcrow Rounded, which is also one of my favorites. I like the condensed feeling they have with the font, and the look as the primary typeface also fit the vibes I was looking for. Lastly was ASAP Condensed, and I think this is the least of my favorites. Decent looking typeface, but it didn't feel like it had much character in my opinion, so I scrapped it. So it was between Quicksand and Pilcrow Rounded, but in the end I chose Pilcrow Rounded. It got all the checkboxes I needed: readable headline, simple, relaxing, calm, rounded, and the font had character and style. So Pilcrow Rounded was chosen as the primary typeface. Next is the body font, which I chose a couple from, which was Epilogue and Cabin. I thought to look for something easily readable, easy to scan through, and also had that sense of calmness, and of course, it needed to complement the primary typeface. Epilogue had that easily readable font style that kind of complements and contrasts our primary really well, which Cabin was a bit too wide for my taste and didn't really fit well with the primary, so Epilogue was the chosen body font. For the color palette, I want to keep it simple and calming. Not too many colors that can overwhelm the users, but good brand colors that convey relaxation, calmness, and simplicity. We're going for the brief's wants, which are blues and purples, and with DBlank, I had to make use of those as the focus. So I went with pastel blues and lavender purples. First generation was nice, however the shade and hue of the colors were a bit dull and dark in my opinion, so I had to make it more lighter or vibrant a bit. Next generation was even better. I liked the vibrance of the blue and the subtleness of the purple, but the blue didn't really execute well contrast-wise when it came to a white background, so I had to make another improvement to it. I also changed the hue of the neutral colors as to not make them too pure black or pure white. After I was happy with the base color palette, I just added them to the document and we were ready to use them. Now for the logos, I wanted to do 3 ideas. One was a space badge style of logo, then a flower and meditation logo, and then a plant/growth type of symbol logo. For the first logo, I thought of making a badge with a brain in space, something a bit creative. So I went to Playground and looked around to generate a few logos about that idea. This hand in space looked really nice, so I just added my prompt about my idea, and I think it really came out well and it looks similar to the idea I was thinking of. I did another try with another logo and it came out kinda weird, but I still saved the idea just in case. So then I made a frame for an archetype of shape, designed a brain illustration, and then added stars and a simple planet to symbolize space. I used the brand colors minimally because I want the logo to really have that space feeling using the black in the color palette. And I think it really came out well. I think it also complemented the primary typeface that I used as a word mark, and it really feels calming and relaxing in my opinion. Next idea, I wanted to make some sort of shapes into a flower type of meditation logo. I tried generating this lady logo into some sort of meditation logo, and I think it did it a bit too well, but I kept it for the shape reference of the model. Then I tried using this logo shape for the same prompt, but then it came out with this weird looking geometric thing. Then another leaf drop logo with the same idea. It did the same thing as earlier, but I like that it left a petal slash leaf like shape. Then I continued on with the design. At first, I was making the flower look like it was meditating, but it wasn't really translating well. So I turned those plant elements into a person inside a flower, making it into like a calm space for the meditator. Looked decent and also fit the simplicity of the word mark font. Lastly, the plant and growth symbol logo. With this one, I tried different kinds of geometric and abstract logos. One was a bit too realistic, but the next two were pretty nice because they had plant and flower elements which were symbolistic as well. So I tried translating the idea, combining the two I generated into this blooming plant-like logo. I used the purple for this one now to make it a bit pretty and have that blooming and soothing feeling. Really like how this came out as well. And here are the three logos I made for the brand. But overall, I think the first one really translated well with the vibe I was looking for the brand. The calmness, the relaxing feeling of space, and the acknowledgement of the brain for meditation. It felt right for the branding. Now I'm just going to fix the branding document for Calm Space. So basically just adding the color palette, the logo variants, fixing the type pairings, and adding the sample usage for the brand elements. And voila! I think this exploration came out really great. The calm and soothing vibe I was looking for really translated well, in my opinion. And I think it's going to work well with the mobile app we'll be designing. Thanks again for watching. Next video is the start of building this branding into a mobile app design. So see you next video and cheers!